The moment Jake Sullivan realized he was falling in love with his neighbor Olivia Chen was the same moment he watched her teaching his daughter how to braid hair on their front porch. It wasn't planned. Nothing about his life had been planned since becoming a widower 3 years ago. But sometimes, the most beautiful chapters of our lives begin when we least expect them. Hey everyone, if you're enjoying this story already, please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more heartwarming content that reminds us all that second chances at love can appear in the most unexpected places. Your support means everything. Jake stood at his kitchen window, coffee mug in hand, watching as the morning sun cast a golden glow across his modest suburban lawn. At 42, he never imagined he'd be raising his 8-year-old daughter Lily alone. His wife Sarah's battle with cancer had ended 3 years ago, leaving behind a void that seemed impossible to fill and a little girl who still sometimes cried for her mother at night. The house across the street had been vacant for months until Olivia moved in 6 weeks ago. She was in her late 30s, with an easy smile and a warmth that seemed to radiate from her. Jake had first met her when she brought over homemade cookies as an introduction to the neighborhood. Lily had taken to her immediately, something that rarely happened since Sarah's passing. "Dad, can I go see if Ms. Olivia wants to have lemonade with us?" Lily asked, tugging at Jake's sleeve and pulling him from his thoughts. "Honey, Ms. Olivia might be busy," Jake replied, though he couldn't deny the slight flutter in his chest at the mention of their neighbor. "But she said I could come over any time," Lily insisted, her blue eyes, so much like her mother's, wide and pleading. Jake sighed, knowing he couldn't resist that look. "All right, but we'll call first, okay?" To his surprise, Olivia answered the phone with enthusiasm, saying she'd been experimenting with a new lemonade recipe herself and would love their opinion. 20 minutes later, they were sitting on Olivia's back deck, the summer breeze carrying the scent of her flowering garden around them. "This is the best lemonade ever," Lily declared, a yellow mustache adorning her upper lip. Olivia laughed, the sound like wind chimes in a gentle breeze. High praise from a lemonade connoisseur. Jake watched their interaction, feeling something stir within him that had been dormant for too long. Olivia caught his gaze and smiled, a slight blush coloring her cheeks. "So, Jake," she said, turning her attention to him, "Lily tells me you work in architectural restoration?" "I do," he nodded, surprised by Lily's sharing. "I help bring old buildings back to life. There's something about preserving history while making it functional for today that I find satisfying." "That's fascinating," Olivia replied, genuine interest in her eyes. "I'm a children's book illustrator, so I guess we both create worlds in our own way." Their conversation flowed easily, and before Jake realized it, 2 hours had passed. As they walked back home, Lily skipping ahead, Jake felt lighter than he had in years. Over the next few weeks, their lives began to intertwine naturally. Olivia would watch Lily when Jake had late meetings. Jake fixed the leaky faucet in Olivia's kitchen. They began sharing meals, first as casual invitations and then as an unspoken routine. Lily bloomed under Olivia's gentle attention, showing interest in art for the first time since her mother died. One evening, after Lily had gone to bed, Jake sat on his porch steps, staring at the stars and thinking about Sarah. He didn't hear Olivia approach until she sat beside him, offering a glass of wine. "Penny for your thoughts," she asked softly. Jake accepted the wine with a grateful smile. "Just thinking about how unpredictable life is. 3 years ago, I thought my life was over when Sarah died. I couldn't imagine ever feeling normal again." Olivia nodded, her shoulder brushing against his. "And now?" "Now," Jake said slowly, "I'm starting to think that maybe there are different kinds of normal. Different kinds of happiness." They sat in comfortable silence, the night wrapping around them like a blanket. Jake felt a peace he hadn't experienced in years, but also a growing anxiety. The feelings developing for Olivia terrified him. Was he betraying Sarah's memory? Was it too soon? Would Lily accept someone new in their lives? The following week, Jake's mother called with news that sent his carefully balanced new life into chaos. "Jake, dear, I've met someone wonderful through my book club. Her daughter is recently divorced, about your age, and just lovely. I've arranged for you to meet her for dinner this Saturday." "Mom, I appreciate the thought, but I'm not ready for that," Jake protested, though the image of Olivia immediately flashed in his mind. "It's been 3 years, sweetheart. Sarah would want you to be happy. Just one dinner. For me?" Unable to disappoint his mother, who had been his rock after Sarah's death, Jake reluctantly agreed. But as he hung up, panic set in. He hadn't been on a date since before he met Sarah in college. He had no idea how to navigate the modern dating world. What would he wear? What would they talk about? Would Lily be upset? Without thinking, he found himself knocking on Olivia's door. "Jake? Is everything okay?" Olivia asked, concern evident in her voice as she opened the door. "I need help," he blurted out. "My mother set me up on a blind date this Saturday, and I have no idea what I'm doing. I haven't dated in almost 20 years. Something flickered across Olivia's face, disappointment, before she composed herself and invited him in. "Well, we can't have you embarrassing yourself, can we? Come on in, and we'll figure this out." For the next hour, Olivia helped him plan the evening, suggesting restaurants, conversation topics, and even what to wear. She was practical and supportive, but Jake couldn't help noticing that her usual warmth seemed dimmed. "What about Lily?" Olivia asked as they sat at her kitchen table. "How does she feel about you dating?" Jake ran a hand through his hair. "I haven't told her yet. I'm not sure how." Olivia reached across the table and squeezed his hand. "Be honest with her. Kids are resilient, but they need truth." That night, Jake sat on the edge of Lily's bed during their bedtime routine. "Sweetie, I need to talk to you about something." Lily looked up from her book, her eyes curious. "What is it, Daddy?" "This Saturday, I'm going to have dinner with a lady I haven't met before." "Like, a date?" Lily's brow furrowed. "Like when you and Mommy used to go out for your anniversary?" Jake's heart clenched. "Sort of, but different because I'm just meeting this person. Grandma thought we might like to know each other." Lily was quiet for a long moment. "Does this mean you don't love Mommy anymore?" Tears sprang to Jake's eyes as he pulled his daughter into a hug. "No, baby. I will always, always love your Mommy. She was the most special person in the world to me, just like you are. But sometimes, when we lose someone we love, our hearts can eventually make room to care about someone new too. It doesn't replace the love we had, it just means our hearts can grow." Lily nodded against his chest. "Like how I still love Mr. Whiskers even though he died, but now I also love the fish Ms. Olivia helped me pick out." Jake smiled through his tears. "Exactly like that. Is the lady nice like Ms. Olivia?" Lily asked innocently. The question caught Jake off guard. "I don't know yet. That's why I'm meeting her." "I wish you could just marry Ms. Olivia," Lily said with the straightforward logic of a child. "She already knows how I like my sandwiches cut, and she makes you smile the way Mommy did in the pictures." Jake kissed the top of her head, his mind spinning. "Time for sleep now, sweetheart." Saturday arrived, and Jake found himself standing in front of his mirror, adjusting the tie Olivia had suggested. He felt like an imposter, like he was playing a role in someone else's life. His mother had arranged for Lily to stay with her for the night, giving Jake no excuse to end the date early. As he was about to leave, his doorbell rang. Olivia stood on his porch, holding a small bouquet of flowers. "What's this?" Jake asked, confused. "A little confidence booster," she said with a smile that didn't quite reach her eyes. "You look very handsome, by the way." "Thank you for all your help," Jake said, suddenly reluctant to leave. "I don't know what I would have done without your advice." Olivia hesitated, then took a deep breath. Jake, before you go, there's something I need to say. The seriousness in her tone made him pause. What is it? I've been thinking about all the advice I gave you for this date, and I realized I left out the most important thing. Her voice trembled slightly. I told you where to go, what to wear, what to talk about, but I never told you to be yourself. Jake frowned. What do you mean? I mean that whoever this woman is, she should appreciate you for exactly who you are, a devoted father, a man who loves old buildings and bad sci-fi movies, someone who still tears up at Lily's school performances. Olivia's eyes shimmered with unshed tears. You don't need to be anyone else to be worthy of love, Jake. Something shifted in Jake's chest as he looked at the woman standing before him, the woman who had seamlessly woven herself into the fabric of his and Lily's lives over the past months. There's something else, Olivia continued, her voice barely above a whisper. When you asked me to help with this date, it hurt. Because I've been falling in love with you, Jake Sullivan. With your kindness, your strength, the way you look at the world with such care. And with Lily, who reminds me so much of myself at her age. Jake stood frozen, the bouquet clutched in his hand, as Olivia's words washed over him. I know this isn't fair, she said quickly. You have this date, and I should have kept my feelings to myself. But I couldn't bear the thought of you walking out that door without knowing that there's someone right here who already sees you, really sees you, and loves what she sees. In that moment, everything became clear to Jake. The comfort he felt in Olivia's presence, the way Lily had flourished under her care, the sense of coming home he experienced whenever they were together, it wasn't just friendship or convenience. It was love, growing quietly but steadily, like the restoration projects he devoted himself to at work. Olivia, he said, his voice thick with emotion, I don't want to go on this date. Hope flickered across her face. You don't? No, Jake shook his head, taking a step toward her. Because the person I want to be with is standing right in front of me. I've been so afraid of moving forward, of dishonoring Sarah's memory, that I couldn't see what was happening between us. But Lily saw it. She actually asked why I couldn't just marry you. Olivia laughed through her tears. She did? She did, Jake confirmed, reaching out to take Olivia's hand. And while I'm not ready for that step yet, I am ready to see where this journey takes us. If you're willing. I am, Olivia nodded, squeezing his hand. More than willing. Jake pulled out his phone and quickly dialed. Mom? Change of plans. I won't be meeting your friend's daughter tonight. Yes, I'm sure. Because I've realized I'm already in love with someone else. Yes, you'll meet her soon. Love you too. As he hung up, Jake turned back to Olivia. So, Ms. Chen, would you like to have dinner with me tonight? I happen to have a reservation at a very nice restaurant. Olivia's smile lit up her entire face. I'd love to, Mr. Sullivan. That evening marked the beginning of their official relationship, though in many ways, it had begun the moment Olivia had knocked on their door with homemade cookies. The transition from neighbors to something more was surprisingly seamless, as if their lives had been designed to fit together all along. 6 months later, on a crisp autumn day, Jake and Olivia sat on a bench in the park, watching Lily chase falling leaves. Jake reached into his pocket and pulled out a small velvet box. I know it hasn't been that long, he said nervously, but when you know, you know. Sarah taught me not to waste a moment of happiness when you find it. Olivia's eyes widened as he opened the box to reveal a vintage emerald ring. It was my grandmother's, Jake explained. Sarah had her diamond ring, and I wanted you to have something that was just yours, something that represents a new chapter rather than a continuation. It's perfect, Olivia whispered, tears streaming down her face. Olivia Chen, will you marry me and help me raise our amazing daughter? Our daughter? Olivia repeated, her voice catching. That's what Lily called herself last week. She said she was our daughter now. If that's okay with you. Olivia nodded, unable to speak through her tears of joy. Jake slipped the ring onto her finger just as Lily ran up to them, her arms full of colorful leaves. "Did you ask her, Dad? Did she say yes?" Lily demanded, practically bouncing with excitement. "She did," Jake confirmed, pulling both his girls into a tight embrace. That night, as Lily slept and Jake and Olivia sat on the porch swing of what would soon be their shared home, Jake reflected on the journey that had brought them to this point. "You know," he said softly, "when Sarah was in her final days, she made me promise something. She said, 'Promise me you'll find joy again, Jake. Promise me you'll give Lily a family full of love.' I agreed to ease her mind, but I never thought it would be possible." Olivia rested her head on his shoulder. "Sarah sounds like she was an incredible woman." "She was," Jake agreed. "And she would have liked you. Not because you're similar, you're actually quite different, but because you love Lily and me with your whole heart. That's all she ever wanted for us." "I do love you both," Olivia confirmed. "More than I ever thought possible." As they sat together under the stars, Jake marveled at life's unexpected turns. He had asked his neighbor for help with a date, never imagining that her words would change everything, that they would lead him not just to a new relationship, but to a second chance at a full and joyful life. Sometimes, the most profound journeys begin with a simple knock on a door. Sometimes, love is waiting just across the street, patient and kind, ready to bloom when the time is right. And sometimes, the family we build after loss is not a replacement for what was, but an expansion of our capacity to love, a testament to the resilience of the human heart. For Jake, Olivia, and Lily, their story was just beginning. There would be challenges ahead, adjustments to make, and memories to honor. But they would face it all together, bound by a love that had found them when they weren't looking, a love that had begun with cookies, lemonade, and a neighbor willing to help with a date that never happened. If this story touched your heart, please don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more stories that remind us all that second chances and new beginnings can be found in the most unexpected places. Sometimes the greatest love stories aren't the ones we plan, but the ones that find us when we're busy making other plans. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.